Good day and welcome machinist union members and our allies in the labor movement. This is your weekly 141 report, and I'm your host, Dave Lehigh, the communications representative for District Lodge 141. Our report topic this week takes us to IAM Local 1781 in Burlingame, California, as we have a conversation with two special guests about IAM's United Airlines Security Force based at San Francisco's International Airport. Join us as we discuss this and other information as our 141 report starts now. Brothers, welcome to the 141 report.
How you doing, Dave?
Hey, Dave. Good to see you.
Great to have you guys on this morning. Brothers, before we get into this interview, please give our viewers a little background report about yourselves, where you started, and the positions that you've held in the machinist union and currently hold now. Troy, why don't you go first?
Yes. Hi, Dave. So I'm Troy Rivera. I'm AGC with District 141 out of San Francisco, local 1781. Been AGC now since 2013. I covered Denver stores all the way to Hawaii and San Francisco CS and Sacramento CS, and also the security guards at the maintenance space and flagship. So I've been doing this. Before that, I was a VP for the district, a trustee, and for 6 years, I was the committee chair at local 1781.
Oh, great. Kurt, how about yourself?
Sure, Dave. So Kurt Rothenbuscher out of San Francisco, local lodge 1781. 30 years active here out of this local. I've held positions as shop steward, committee person, executive board. I'm currently head of organizing out of San Francisco. And I've been blessed to negotiate several contracts alongside with Troy Rivera, one for United Airlines Security back in 2014, and for our vendors, Flagship and Scientific Concepts.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that part of that, Kurt. That's interesting information. So, brothers, let me ask you. We're here to talk about the security force that's at the airport. Could you tell me how many members we're dealing with there?
So actually, we have 50 security guards here, but currently we're at 45. We do have one in LA. He's been the only survivor there. In the 2014 agreement, they tried to furlough him out to San Francisco, but he's a gentleman who hasn't called in sick in 24 years. And the whole station loves him as a security guard. So he's still there. And we just had one retire out of old headquarters in Chicago. So right now we just have 50 in San Francisco and one in LA.
Okay. So brothers, the hangar in San Francisco is gigantic. I've been there a couple of times. How many employees would you say go through the doors each day?
We actually have about 3,000 on the average per day in a 24-hour period.
Okay.
Prior to 9/11, believe it or not, we used to have over 10,000.
Wow.
So it has shrunk a little bit, but the facility has not. It's actually 128 acres big. And our security officers know that facility inside and out. It is gigantic.
Yeah, it is a phenomenal place to walk through. Very, very interesting. So has the security force, Troy, ever had to deal with like emergencies on the property? I know you probably have seen a few things over the years. Could you tell the members what your force is ready to do?
Yeah, so they've unfortunately, we've had employees pass away on the property that they've had to deal with. We also had the facility caught on fire. We also had theft, a break-in, a breach. It ranges from all kinds of things that our security guards have to react. They are the first on the scene. they are the ones who contact the police or the medical. So they get there first, and then the police or fire department or ambulance gets called by them, and then those groups show up. But it's a big old property, as Brother Kurt said, and it is their responsibility all the way from outside the parking lot. We've had a hit and run outside the parking lot where we had to respond. We had issues in the parking lot. So they're pretty diverse in everything they have to cover and do there.
So Kurt, does United put you through some sort of extensive training program in order to
We
be?
do. It's actually in the NDOC, when you first come in, you're in training for 6 to several weeks. It is on the job training. We obviously have to deal with the fire department, the police department, chemicals exposure. We do CPR, which is huge because we do have an elder population out on the base. A lot of people don't know this, but United's actually been out there since 1940. Back in 1940, that facility was moved from Cheyenne, Wyoming, and brought out here to San Francisco. And it actually created a huge economic boom for the Bay Area. So the security's been out there a long time.
Yeah.
And the training is quite extensive, but by the time you get done with that, several weeks in, you're let go. And basically, you know that property inside and out at that time.
Yeah, I remember talking to one of the members a few years ago when I was out there. I mean, thousands and thousands of people walked in and out the doors there. It was amazing to see all the different, side rooms, and it's a maze of different hallways and stuff that take you to all these different shops and stuff that used to be there on the property. Very, very big place.
Yes, if you look at it, there's timelines where you can see how first it started off obviously fairly small, and it just grew throughout the decades. And as it stands today, again, it's quite large. But our guards do a great job of on-the-job training. It is, again, extensive, but we make sure that they're able to do their job at the end of that training. And if not, then we obviously, as a union, we step in and approach management, and we get an extension on the training if need be.
That's great. So, Kurt, let me ask you, how is this current contract worked out for the membership in the Bay Area for security officers?
Well, that's huge. Job protection is number one. And under Mike Clem, we've been able to get that protection up to 2024. It gives a lot of people peace of mind knowing that they have a job until 2024. Being that we're going into negotiations now, the hope is obviously to get that extended. Life out here in the Bay Area is tough. Things are very expensive out here, and it is good to know that you do have a job for X amount of time and not have to worry about being outsourced. In my 30 years with the company, Lord knows we've seen a lot of departments come and go at United Airlines. So it's been really huge for us to know that we've had that job protection throughout.
That's really great. It's really interesting information. Is there anything that maybe you two want to add to, I might not have brought up in the conversation that might be interesting to our viewers?
So just a couple of things, Dave. One, it's important that we keep that maintenance space open, because with that maintenance space open, it protects not only our storekeepers, our security guards, and our move team guys that are there. So the key, it's very important for that job protection for them. Also, the security guards still have a pay progression of 5 years. They were able to keep that and keep their 8-hour workday. They don't do the 8.5-hour workday. Funny story, way back then, as we talked in the 1940s, security guards used to be able to carry guns on that base.
Wow.
But we had some mishaps with employees that happened, and they slowly phased them out of carrying the gun. But back in the day, that was part of their title, so they would have to be able to carry a gun on the facility. So that's interesting to know. But
It's
not
interesting. Really interesting. It's fascinating to see the how the airline has changed over the years, and I do really appreciate you guys. I know you guys are very busy, in the work that you do for District Lodge 141 and for your local. It's a great local, 1781. You guys do some tremendous work out there for the membership. I want to thank you both for taking the time out of your schedule today to give us this quick report. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. Well, this wraps up this week's 141 report. Everyone stay safe and healthy and have a great weekend. Bye for now.